Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. In today's video we're going to be taking on this Mini Cooper S, and what we're going to be doing to it is giving it a full wash, decontamination. We're going to polish it up and put a coating on it. Now the weather's absolutely rancid outside, so I'm just going to fly through this wash very quickly because you've seen it all before, and I'll very quickly rhyme off the products that I'm using at the time. So for the tyres, that was Decon tyre. Then in the IK foamer, I've got my Garage Therapy one wheel shampoo, and I'm just using my regular detailing brushes to get in about everything there. That's the Mini EZ barrel brush that I'm using there. So we're moving on to the start of the decontamination process now, and first up is citrus pre-wash. This is a strong dilution at a 5:1 ratio, and the aim of this is to, as well as clean the car, try and deteriorate as much of the protection as possible at the moment. And as you can see here, there's not an awful lot of protection on the car as it is. So as with all my decontaminations these days, I'm going to reach for the Garage Therapy Zero Decon, and we're using this in the snow foam lance. And of course, we're also going to be using it during our contact wash phase. And following on from that, we're going to be getting the Decon tar and glue remover. Now, if anybody's never used this tar and glue remover before, it's very different to what you would expect normally. It doesn't have that same really strong scent that tar and glue remover has, and it's pink as well, and it works. Now, the fallout remover from Decon is absolutely stinking, as you would expect from any normal fallout remover. I guess I was kind of hoping for something a little bit different after using the tar and glue. Alright, so after that absolute nightmare of a wash in that rain, we're inside. We're going to do a bit of clay barring, get all the contamination off the vehicle before we get it all dried off and move on to polishing. So for this I'm just using AM Details clay with water is all you need for this one. That's the kind of contamination that you're going to pick up, little bits of tar that you've missed. Well, alright, so we've got the car fully clay barred. Went round, I'm going to take you around and show you a bit of a paintwork inspection. But first, what I'm going to do is, I've got my SGCB dryer. I've already dried the car off using the Gold Member, which is the new towel from the leather repair company. That towel's actually managed to dry the car, then dry up all the water from the clay bar as well, so and it's probably got a bit more in it. Quite impressive. So we're going to blow out all the nooks and crannies, get all the water out of the car, then we're going to get it taped up, ready for polishing. Then we're going to do some paint depth gauges, paint depth gauge readings, see where we're at with the paint, and have a bit of a paintwork inspection at the same time. This is such an awesome tool. I thought the car was dry and it's blown out so much water. So many little nooks and crannies and crevices in this car for the water to get trapped in. Alright, so we've calibrated the paint depth gauge, so we're going to take some readings around about the car, see where we're at. I know there's been work done on the boot and the rear bumper, and I know that the car has previously been polished, so we'll see what the paint thickness is like. So yeah, as I expected, the readings in the boot lid are way higher. They're way up over 200, around closer to the 300 mark, whereas the rest of the car is generally floating around about the 180 mark. So there's plenty of paint for us to work with. We'll have a quick scoot around the car, have a look at the condition, and then start polishing. So this is around about the bonnet area. And as you can see, there is a lot of swirl marks. So we'll see what we can do with them. Most of the paint around about the whole car is generally looking quite swirled up. Okay, so I've finally got my pad combination sorted for this. I'm halfway through doing the bonnet just now. I'm going to finish up doing the bonnet and then we can have a little look, see how we get on. we've got a slightly bigger scratch just here, which kind of comes across the wing onto the door a little bit. Not too deep, hopefully we can get rid of that. So one thing I've really noticed is making a huge difference with getting this car done is having a variety of different sizes of polishers, different sizes of machine polishers. So I've got with me today a 5-inch, a 3-inch, and I've got my KD Incline, which has got 2-inch and 1-inch capabilities. And to be fair, with the kind of curves of this car, I tried using the 5-inch on the door and I was getting very minimal contact. So I'm actually at the point now where I'm going to be going 3-inch for the rest of the car and 2-inch or 1-inch for areas like the wing and around little niche areas. So I'm so glad that I've got this tool right now. And something else that Catan sent up was some extension bars to try out with it. So I'm currently using the extension bar on the DA attachment, and it's working an absolute treat because it's keeping the head of the polisher just that little bit further away from the paint and the bodywork and stuff like that, and it's still getting a good level of cut and a good level of finish when I'm moving on to the finishing pads. So something else I just want to quickly mention as well is the compounds that I'm actually using today. So I'm using the Cartec range, and the combinations that I've actually ended up going with is the Diamond Cut 3000 with my cutting pad and the Refinish 9000 Final Cut with my finishing pad, and I'm getting some really good results. Normally I would use Visor compounds, but I'd run out of heavy cut and Cartec could do next day delivery for me. So I bought their polishing sample pack and really happy with the results that I'm getting so far. Definitely food for thought in terms of what I'm going to use going forward now. Alright, so I've now fully polished the bonnet, the front wing, round, front door and rear quarter, cut and refined. So I've got my new Infinity Wax prep, which I'm going to use to get all the polishing oils off of the panels and do a bit of a paintwork inspection and see how we're looking. Yeah, it looks like it's done a decent job. Seemed like it didn't flash off as quick as other panel wipes that I've used, but everything's all gone now, so I'll have an inspection of the paintwork and see where we're at. So really happy with how that's turned out on this side. Just need to get the other side done, the tailgate done, the roof done, and then we can finally get on with applying our coating. Okay, so we've got a couple of final jobs to do in the car before we can start thinking about getting the coating on it. So what we're going to do now is we're going to deal with the piano black roof, yay, and then we've got some touch-ups to do on the front bonnet. We're going to let that then cure till tomorrow, let the paint that we put on cure till tomorrow before coming back and applying the coating of choice. So let's just get this roof and pillars done, then we'll do some touch-ups. So the thing with the roof is, I was hoping that I was going to get away with the 9000 Refine compound and the medium pad, but I've done a test spot and it done absolutely nothing. So I've now got my heavy cut pad with the 3000 diamond cut, the aeroplane going over, and I'm really hoping that it makes a dent on it, because if not, I don't really know how we're going to deal with this. Let's try it out. dark mode. So, moment of truth here. I don't even know if this has worked yet. So the pad combination that I used with a heavy pad and the 3000 diamond cut, it's done some work. It's got rid of some, like a lot of the swirls. It's got rid of a lot of swirls. There's still some stuff left, but this job is just one pass with a heavy combination and one pass with the refining combination. So I'll do the rest of the roof with a heavy combination, then refine it. Alright, so now that we've finished polishing the whole car, the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to do some touch-ups on the bonnet. I'm going to take you in and just show you some of the stone chips and just how obvious they've become now that the paint has been polished. So this is all those little white speckles there. These are all stone chips on the bonnet. Quite a lot of them, and if we put a coating over that, it's just going to look terrible for the next few years. So we're going to put some touch-up paint on it. We'll then go over it again with a polisher once the touch-up paint is cured. So as you can see, the bonnet's in a pretty bad shape in terms of the stone chips. They really take the look away from the car. Now, using the touch-up paint isn't going to be perfect, and we're not going to go into the making it absolutely perfect. I'm not a painter, so it's only going to be as good as I can get it, but it's going to look a heck of a lot better than what you've just seen there. So while you're literally watching paint dry, now seems like a good time to ask you to do me a massive favour. Hit that thumbs up button and hit that subscribe button. Okay, so as you can see here, we have done all our touch-ups, and I don't generally like leaving a raised touch-up in place, so I've wet sanded them back flat, and now I'm going to go over those areas again and polish them back up to a beautiful shine before applying our coating. Okay, so this is just going to be a very quick example of just how powerful the KD incline is. Got a couple of sanding marks here from where I've flatted out the touch-ups so that it's nice and smooth to the body, and I'm just going to use the KD incline with the Cartec Diamond Cut 3000. Still see the sanding mark that's left up here. The other one was just down here, and pretty much gone. And that's us all polished up, polished it back up. Started off trying with a 3-inch DA just to see if I could get through the wet sanding marks, but it was taking a bit of time, so I went down to the KD incline with the 2-inch pad on rotary mode, and it has absolutely just obliterated those sanding marks, and the bonnet is looking fabulous again. Just let that flash for a few seconds, and then I've got my microfiber towel to remove the residue. So just before I show you some finishing shots of the car, I just want to say a big thanks to every one of you that's watched it this far. I really enjoyed doing this one. in my opinion, the car's looking absolutely insane. I'm super happy with how it's came out, and I hope that you all think the same. So thank you for watching. Please do hit that subscribe button. If you like the content, hit the thumbs up button as well. And I will see you on the next one.